Hello everyone, so today we are going to see a new lesson concerning rules of the road in English, which are also known as traffic rules or the code of the road or whatever you may call them in your country. So this will help you as a driver, pedestrian or user or even someone interested in law or traffic law. So before proceeding to the presentation, first of all, you have to know that these rules are more or less universal, given that in 1968, some countries, which are like 74 countries, signed what is called the Vienna Convention of Traffic Code. So on this list, you can see whether your country is included or not. So anyway, so let's now go to the outline of the current presentation. So we're going to see speed limits, then distance limits, then weights and lengths of vehicles, then time, then roads and their colors, then lights, then first aid, and finally general tips on driving and using the road. So let's start with the first thing, which is speed limits. So as you know, speed limits depend for the most part on the types of vehicles and their users. For example, if I'm going on a national road outside residential area, the speed limit is determined at 100 kilometers per an hour. Inside city or residential area, the speed limit is determined between 40 kilometers per an hour and 60 kilometers per an hour. In, for example, UK, the speed limit is determined at 45 kilometers per an hour, which also they measure it there by mile per an hour. Anyways, in motorway or highway or speedway or whatever you call it in your country, the speed limit is determined at 120 kilometers per an hour. For a new driving license, someone with less than 2 years of driving, the speed limit is determined at 90 kilometers per an hour. For a bus with 15 seats, the speed limit is determined at 100 kilometers per an hour. For trucks with more than 8 tons of loads, the speed limit is determined at 80 kilometers per an hour. Now let's move to distance limits. So the first type of distance is the so-called distance of safety. This distance is measured in terms of time at 2 seconds in some countries and 3 seconds in some countries like Germany. So this distance can be measured by the multiplication of speed by 6. So if I go with a speed of 100 kilometers per an hour, I took 10, I multiplied by 6, the result is 60 meters. So this is the distance of safety. That is the distance I should keep between my vehicle and the vehicle in front of me to avoid any possible collision in case of braking or an accident. So anyways, the second distance is that of stopping. So this distance is multiplied by itself. In other words, if I'm going with a speed of 100 kilometers per an hour, I took 10, I multiplied by 10, the result is 100, is like 100. So 100 meters is the distance of actually stopping your vehicle in case you are going with 100 kilometers per an hour. So the second distance is that of reaction or driver's reaction time, which is measured by 1 second minimum. If the driver is drunk or tired or sleepy, this period may be more than 1 second. So in terms of another measure, it can be multiplied by 3. For example, if I'm going with the speed of 10 kilometers per an hour, the distance of reaction is 3 meters because I took 3 multiplied by 1. So I need 3 meters to just react. Another distance is the distance that I should leave between vehicles, which is 0.5 meter, especially if I want to overtake a car from the sides. Another distance is between car and pedestrian, which is 2 meters inside and outside residential areas. Another distance is between a car and a bicycle or motorcycle, so I should leave 1 meter between, not between, but on side, on side, of my vehicle and the motorcycle or the bicycle inside the city and 1.5 meter outside residential area. Then there is distance between light and light, which is 40 meters. That is in on the street lights. So this distance, I use it just to know whether I lift like the appropriate safety distance between me and the vehicle in front of me. So it can be measured by the lights. So if I leave two lights, then I left in this case 80 meters. Another distance is between a tree and tree which are planted on streets. So this distance is 10 meters. So I again use it when I want to measure the safety distance. Then there is a distance between a white sideline and its emptiness. So this distance reaches up to 25 meters. Sometimes it differs according to the country, the home country. Then we have this sign which indicates a danger with a distance of 50 meters inside residential areas and 150 meters outside residential areas. Then this sign indicates two-way traffic which applies immediately along with lack of restriction sign, restriction or prohibition sign, roundabout sign. For the roundabout sign, in this case, I should give priority to the left in case there are no other signs. For weights and lengths of the vehicle, so 1.3 millimeters, the depth of tires, which should be also inflated to the pressure shown on the tire. Then we have the impact of alcohol, which is measured by 0.30 gram per liter. So, according to the High Code of UK, you must not drive with a breath alcohol level higher than 35 micrograms per 100 milliliters of breath. And then for the length of a load of the vehicle, we should not only surpass it from the rear with a maximum of 3 meters. Then the legal weight of vehicle in A category driver license is 350 or 3,500 kilograms. Then the weight of the dragged vehicle or the so-called trailer is 750 kilograms with a license plate and EB category and the gray card, which is also known as registration certificate. So if I want to tow a trailer with more than 750 kilograms, I should have another license, driving license and license plate and gray card. The number of allowed places in A category driver license is eight seated passengers in addition to the driver. In case there is no driver, it's 9 passengers. For time, we have the reaction time as we saw is the minimum of 1 second. Then we have the safety time, which is measured by 2 seconds and 3 seconds in some countries like Germany. The technical visit is mandatory in every year for every car which is 5 years old. So if the car is 5 years old, I should always make a technical visit every year. Take rest for at least 15 minutes after every 2 hours of driving or after 200 kilometers. Amicable consent should be given to the insurance company within 5 days for third-party fire, theft, or comprehensive insurance. So this period might differ according to countries. Then we have roads and their colors. For national road is referred to normally by red color. For regional road is referred to by amber color or yellow color. Then we have the highway, which is often referred by blue color, and forest road referred to by green color. Now for lights. So we have dashboard lights, which range from red, orange, and green. Then we have vehicle lights, which can be high beam, which lightens up to 100 meters. Then we have low beams, which lightens up to 30 meters of distance. Then we have parking lights, which lightens on the sides of the car itself. At rain, I should turn on low beam plus front fog lights. At snow, low beam plus front fog plus back fog lights must be turned on. Then hazard warning signal or the triangle of repair in case of breakdown is put on 30 or 45 meters away from the vehicle or before a turning point. This is at night, but this is just at day. For at night, it should be put at 100 meters. Use blinkers whenever you intend to change lanes, overtake vehicles, or turn in intersections. First aid now. Do not move casualties still in vehicle unless there is a threat of further danger. Do not remove a motorcyclist's helmet unless it is essential. Remember, the casualty may be suffering from shock. Do not give them anything to eat or drink, even if they ask you to. Do try to make them warm and as comfortable as you can. Protect them from rain or snow, but avoid unnecessary movement because if you move them, you might paralyze them. So that's why movement is by all means prohibited. This is, by the way, the traffic code of UK, which is more or less universal. Another advice is do give reassurance confidently and try not to leave them alone or let them wander into the path of other traffic. Do chest compressions and breathe between 12 and 15 breaths for adults and 25 to 30 for children. Then we have you should never light a cigarette near crashed vehicles or use mobile phone because this might cause explosion. Then we have general tips. So the horn is prohibited in built-up areas and at night, except for an imminent danger. The driver does not have a priority to pass over a bridge. No one has a priority, in fact. So I should always wait the person using the bridge until he or she finishes it. Then the driver can stop 60 meters before and after a bumper and not hide a road sign. In fact, he or she should not stop, but only in case she must stop or have to stop. So commands in intersection should be taken from the police officer gradually, traffic signals, traffic signs, and road code respectively. So police officer should come first. I should take the signals from him or her, ignoring in this case traffic signals. The driver should control, inform, and overtake. So we should never overtake directly. I should always control using the mirrors and the blind spots whether I am being overtaken or not. Then I should inform others that I want to overtake. Then I proceed to overtake with caution. The driver should decrease speed in intersections and watch out for any risks. So by default, when I'm approaching any intersection, I should decrease speed. An intersection without signs, right of way is given to the right. In roundabouts without signs, the priority is given to the left. The driver should never flee the scene of accident. In this case, he or she may be judged according to the penal code of his or her country. Violators of the above rules may be cautioned, given license penalty points, fined, banned from driving, or even imprisoned, depending on the severity of the offense. Then, in a foreign country, if you are an immigrant in a foreign country, you can drive with your home country driver license for 12 months until you change it according to license exchange law, and never coast a vehicle that is going ahead with no gear. Some people they think that they will economize energy, but this way will endanger them because they cannot control the vehicle. Smoking is by default prohibited in public transportation. Handheld, mobile, or any distracting device is by default prohibited while driving. Children should not sit in front and they must have their special seats and seat belts. Vehicles should be equipped with ABS, that is anti-brake system. In built-up areas, be careful of traffic, pedestrians, and roadblocks like humps, chickens, and narrowings. In emerging, check mirrors, blind spots, signal, then maneuver. Only overtake on the right of if the vehicle in front is signaling to turn left and there is room to do so. This rule is reversed, in fact, in UK because there is this difference between some countries, anyways. In wet weather, stopping distance will be at least double those required for stopping on dry roads. So I should always take caution. You must not reverse, cross the central reservation, or drive against the traffic flow. If you have missed your exit or have taken the wrong road, carry on to the next exit. And finally, hard shoulders is for emergency use only. Never use them just to take rest. So for the references, I advise you just to go to Vienna Convention on Road Traffic 1968, the Highway Code in UK, the Driver Manual USA, and Rules of the Road of Ireland, and finally some traffic codes of Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt. So thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. See you in another video. Bye for now.